food, didn't we? And we'll be eating that food even more longer. Some of us got to go home with you. Well, we have a couple of things we're going to do today. First, I've asked Isaac to come and entertain us. He's got a real special gift, and you don't see much of it anymore. In fact, I don't think I see anybody doing what he does anymore, but I remember that people used to do it years ago, a lot of people. But not, it's a talent that he has he's going to share with us. And then Eldine and I have a word for you, and so we won't be here too much longer, but we hope you enjoy coming, and we hope that the next time we meet, I think we tentatively got this next meeting scheduled for July the 15th, and that will be on a Friday evening, trying to get back on Fridays instead of Saturdays. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Isaac Laughhunn.
Thank you. I'm going to get up here because this is where my notes are. You know, he almost looked like Pastor Jeff when he did that. He was like... He has all the mannerisms. Pastor Jeff, you can impersonate Pastor Jeff a lot, I'll tell you. Anyway, I would like to thank the Academy. Oh, anyway. Well, thank you to Mr. Rendon. Thank you for having me here. I appreciate it. What happened was they had seen my voices. I have, let's see, 350 voices on YouTube. I have a 200 voices slideshow, 100 voices, and a 50 voices slideshow. Go ahead and look that up. Isaac Laughhunn, Laughhunn. That's how you spell my last name. Anyway, look that up on YouTube. It's fun to watch. It entertains me too. So anyway, so it's a lot of fun. Anyway, I just want to share with y'all a little bit of my heart and why I'm here and at this age group, and everybody's like, are you above 50? Anyway, and so anyway, before I really knew a whole lot about God, before I really knew a whole lot about the Bible, I knew basically one verse or half of one verse. It was Proverbs 17:22, and that's, a merry heart does good like medicine. And I've just always thought about Christians is that some of us need some medicines. Some of us need a merry heart. Some of us need, some joy, some fun, some laughter, and all that. And sadly, to me, the ultimate conversation would be like joking. Like me and Miss Sklar, we joke a lot. and probably that's the best conversation I could have is joking. And I used to be friends with Daniel, her son, when I was a kid and all that, and we would joke back and forth. And all my friends, what we would do is we would get together and we would joke, and we didn't feel ashamed. We didn't feel like, oh, this is sinful, or we're going too far. Oh, we're inviting the devil in or something, or whatever. And we would joke back and forth. And so a merry heart does good like a medicine. And some of us, we need some medicine. We need a merry heart. We need some joy in our lives that will help us through the hard times. And so, and as Christians, we're taught, there are no hard times, but it says in the Bible that there are. There's trials. It says there's trials. It says there's sufferings. It even says we share in Jesus' sufferings. And so not only is it not a shameful thing to laugh and all that, but that we need to have joy in the midst of all of that stuff. Now, other religions, they're a system of works. You have to pray twice a day, or you have to adhere to this doctrine or this exact teaching or whatever. But for Christianity, we're saved by faith and not by works. And I was kind of wrestling with this with God and saying, God, what do I do here? I want to joke more than all of my friends. What do I do here? And I'm trying to connect with people, and I'm just not doing it because they don't want to joke, and they just act like it's going too far and all that. I say, God, is it okay that I joke so much? And I believe that He gave me this word, was that He said, I looked it up in this translation of the Bible, the NET Bible. It's just my personal favorite translation because it's very accurate. Some translations are just not accurate, even if they're readable. But anyway, so I looked at this, and it says, I looked it up, BibleGateway.com, NET Bible. Joy, the word joy appears in the Bible 222 times. And so I go, that's actually a major theme of the Bible, and that's something that I've never heard. I've never heard anybody share that. And so, man, we need a merry heart, does good like a medicine. And so that's why we get together and we watch Pastor Jeff make faces and and act silly up here, and he does jokes, and I'm so proud. I go, hey, my pastor jokes around, and we're not ashamed. We're not ashamed to do that. And so, and also just people, y'all's age 50 and above, this is the group, Young at Heart. I like that name because young at heart doesn't necessarily mean that you're old, because I'm young at heart too. And so I was born young at heart. I'm always like a kid, no matter how old I will be. So people y'all's age are my friend. Miss Sklar is my friend. My dad is my best friend. And so I feel like I connect with y'all this age, and then also kids, I connect with y'all the best. I don't know why that is, but people y'all's age, I like y'all because like earlier when we were all talking and everything with each other, like people that are 30, my age, I'm 30, people that are 30 and younger or whatever, they spend all day working, they spend all day on their phones, they spend all day busy, they spend all day doing this, doing that, and they don't spend any time talking to each other. They'll do Facebook or Twitter or this or that, or hey, I'm excited, hey, da, 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 and they'll say this, I'm at McDonald's or whatever. They get 5,000 likes, they take a picture of a hamburger, or whatever. And so, and this is like, wow, this is exciting, this is a relationship. But see, this age, 50 and above, y'all, there's something about the generation, I guess because America was closer to God and y'all knew, to have relationships with each other was what the Christian life was all about. And so here you go. There you go. All right. Miss Sklar, all right. Anyway, so this is what y'all have to, I'm getting like my dad, I'm going to tear up now. Anyway, this is what y'all have to offer to people my age, to people even 1 year younger than you, people that are a teenager, people that are kids or whatever. Take that upon yourself to share with them, to have relationships with each other, and just, and talk about it. Talk about it on Facebook. Talk about it in a teaching setting, teaching Sunday school, or just make a relationship with somebody and teach them, hey, you need to make time for the important things in life, and the important things is people. The Bible says the whole law is summed up in a single command, and that's love your neighbor as yourself. And so that's what the message of Christianity is, God working through his people and then passing that on to the other people. So just please, if you get that one thing out of if you get one thing out of this message, out of this little sermonette that I'm doing, if you get one little thing out of it, it's just pass on, having relationships with each other. Just pass that on to somebody younger than you. All right. So now we're gonna do some voices here. I did some voices. I did 350 voices. I started out. I always estimated I could do 200, and then I did 200, and I go, wow, I have maybe 50 more. So I did 50 more, and then I go, wow, I have maybe 100 more. and I was like, whoa, I could do more than I thought. And so anyway, this is actually the first time that I've actually done my voices publicly. I've done Elvis and Johnny Cash and stuff like that, but I've never done all the impersonations that I could do publicly because I just never had the opportunity. So I appreciate you having me. Yeah. All right. Okay, I'm gonna have a little drink of water to have my throat healthy here. All right. I'm going to do Pastor Jeff in a minute. I really got to be ready. Okay. All right. He's cool. I wish he was here. Anyway, when I was growing up, I would watch cartoons. I'd watch Inspector Gadget. I'd watch the Flintstones, the Jetsons, all that. And so I would be, whenever I hear a distinctive voice, and not everybody has a distinctive voice, but whenever I hear one, I usually feel like I can do it. And unless it's like out of my range or too high or something, but usually I go, hey, I can do that. And so I would watch Inspector Gadget, and I would go around the house. I'd be 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever. I'm going around the house going, Inspector Gadget is always on duty. And I would go around the house and do that. And then I don't remember if I did Dr. Claw. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. But anyway, the villain in the show of Inspector Gadget was named Dr. Claw, and he had the deep voice, and he was like. And he would go every show. I think I saw 100 shows of Inspector Gadget, and every show it was like at the end of each show, Dr. Claw would say the same thing. It was like he had forgotten the previous 100 shows or whatever. And he would go, "I'll get you next time, Gadget." And he would say that at the end of each show, and he would do that like every show. He was encouraged. He was going to get him. Anyway, and so, all right, now I'm going to do another series here. Got to do another drink here. All right. And so I would also do the answering machine messages back when they had phones, back when they had, with the lines on them. Anyway, I would do the answering machine messages for my family, and I would do the voices, and I would do, since I watched the Flintstones, I would do Barney and Fred and all that. And so Fred would say to Barney, he would say, "Barney, the answering machine is recording." And then Barney would say, "Leave your message after the beep." All right. And then, thank you, y'all are kind. I'll tell you. All right, and then there's Pastor Jeff. Boy, Pastor Jeff is so distinctive. You know what he said is true, is that there's not as many impersonators as there used to be, because everybody's trying not to offend you, and everybody's trying not to sound distinctive. Everybody's trying to kind of just not have any rough edges. And so all the actors, all the speakers, even pastors and everything, they don't have distinctive voices. They're all just trying to sound the same and smooth. And so Pastor Jeff, he has his own unique style. He'll go, I always remember when I would first come to this church, I would always hear him go, he would always use this phrase. He would go, "Some of you," and he would go, "up under the sound of my voice today." And he would say, and he would go, and he would start to almost like moonwalk, and he would do all this stuff. He'd be very active on the stage. And can I get a volunteer to help me out? I want to show you what Pastor Jeff would do some of these times here when he would be praying. Can I get somebody a volunteer? Anybody? All right. Moses. All right. He's gonna part the waters. Okay. All right. Okay. Now Pastor Jeff would be doing the prayer line and all that. And what I used to think was that everybody who all the men of God, all the pastors, I used to think that everything they did had great spiritual significance, and that everything they did was straight from heaven or something. And so everything that Pastor Jeff would do, I would think, man, God is doing something deep here, and everything and all that. And you learn, well, they're just human beings, and that's not always true, but anyway. And so he would come up, and I would go up to the prayer line, and I would expect God to really do something, and he would go, and while he was praying, he would go like this, and he would kind of touch me, and he'd pray and go, "Lord, I pray, oh Lord," and he would pray and he'd do that, and he would have his hand like this, and I was like, God, is he like reading my heart? Is he getting like vibrations from heaven? It goes up to his arm, and then he reads my thoughts or something. I don't know, but he would put his hand right there, and I don't exactly know what that means. But anyway, let's give him a hand clap. I just need somebody real quick. All right, and then let's see here. All right. Oh, and then here's one thing that Pastor Jeff would do. He would kind of tell a joke, and then he would kind of pause and go, and he would do that. And then sometimes he kind of make a face go, and anyway, and then another time he would go. I don't know if he does this anymore, but he would say something really loud. He'd go, "Come on, somebody!" And he would go really loud, and then he would go like that. And then you do that, and you go, is he golfing, or what is he doing? But anyway, lots of distinctive stuff for Pastor Jeff. Anyway, all right, and then, all right, I'll drink some more water here. All right, then growing up, I heard the distinctive voices of Rocky and Bullwinkle. All right. Okay. Now I'm gonna do just a whole bunch of here. Okay. And now I'll do the answering machine messages. I go, "Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat." And then let's see. And then Rocky would say, "Holy smoke, Bullwinkle, what are you doing?" And then Boris and Boris and Natasha were the villains in the cartoon. And Boris would say, "Look over here, Natasha. It's Moose and Squirrel." And Natasha would go, "Are we going to defeat him this time, darling?" All right. And then one that I used to do a lot of was Bill Clinton. I would say, my line, I would say, "Would I lie to you?" Anyway, thank you. And then there was Al Gore, who ran for president against George W. Bush, lost narrowly, but he lost anyway. And it was a hotly contested election, and Al Gore would say, "The votes were not properly counted." And then he would say, "Under my plan, Medicare will be under an ironclad lockbox." Okay. All right, and then I used to do a little puppet, a little hand puppet, Larry Boy in Children's Church. I go, "I am that hero." I go, "Hi, I'm Larry Boy." And I would do that voice, and then and then it would just be the cucumber, not the superhero, it would just be Larry. And then the tomato Bob. You go, "Hi, Bob," and you say, "Oh, hello, Larry." Anyway, and so there you go. And always close to my heart, the Looney Tunes, Yosemite Sam. "Ooh, I hate that rabbit. Corn, sour, itchy glute, frackin', varmint. Ooh." And then there was Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny. Yes. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits. And then Bugs would say, "Ain't I a stinky?" All right, I'm gonna need some breath for this one. And then I would do Elvis for years. I made it more or less a living doing Elvis. Not exactly a living, but I made a lot of money doing Elvis. I would go around Texas and do Elvis and all that. And so I used to dye my hair black and all that, and didn't have the jumpsuit. And he saw the pictures. He's like, "Hey, do you still do Elvis?" Anyway, so I could do it here anyway. All right, here we go. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, now I'm going to do with another drink of water. I'm just going to go through, I'm going to say the name of the voice and then just go for it. Here we go. Isn't this fun? Isn't it fun to have fun in a church building? Shouldn't we have fun all the time? Man, come on. It's fun. A merry heart does good like a medicine. We need to share that more, don't we? All right. Rudy Giuliani. I appreciate you considering my point. Okay. Dick Cheney. Yeah. I never gave that much thought. All right. Ike and Tina Turner. And we're rolling on the river. Rolling on the river. All right, now this one is really rough. I'm gonna really need some water for this one. One vocal artist who did Popeye, he did it like in 2000 and a few years ago. Anyway, he did Popeye and he said it was like a buzzsaw in your throat. Anyway, I'm gonna do Popeye here. All right, I'm gonna do this to be safe here. Okay, here we go. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm strong to the finish, cause I eats me spinach. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Alright. And then there's Pluto, who was the bully to Popeye. Oh, Popeye, I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna pulverize you. I'm gonna pow right in the breadbasket. Give you the old 1, 2. Then there was olive oil. Oh, Popeye, oh dear, oh, what a man, what a man. All right, and there's Matthew McConaughey from the Lincoln commercials, among other things. I've been driving a Lincoln ever since, long before I was paid any money to drive one. I didn't do it to be cool. I didn't do it to make a statement. I just liked it. All right, James Taylor. When you're down and troubled and you need a helping hand. All right, Aunt B from the Andy Griffith Show. Ooh, Andy! And here's one that's real easy. It's Fonzie from Happy Days. Hey! All right, Davy Jones from the Monkees. Hello, everybody. I'm Davy Jones. Oh, I could hide 'neath the wings of the bluebird as she sings. All right. All right. And then there is Alfred, the butler from Batman the Animated Series. Very good, Master Bruce. Okay. Tom Bosley from Happy Days. Hello, I'm Tom Bosley. Let's see. And then there's John Hagee, the pastor. Let's see. One thing about the church today, it's going into hell in a handbasket. All right. A little bit of Pastor Jeff in there. All right. All right. Let's see. George Burns. Let's see here. What would he say? Acting is all about honesty. If you can fake that, you've got it made. Charlie the Tuna from Starkist Tuna commercials. Starkist Tuna is the best. All right. Chico Marx from the Marx Brothers. What's the matter for you? Dan Rather from CBS News. Let's see. Hello, this is Dan Rather. September 11th made me angrier than a bull backed into a beehive. All right. Okay, Dr. Phil, how's that working for you? All right, Davey and Goliath from the little stop motion animation kind of deal. Hi, Goliath. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty good, Davey. Okay, and then we have Denozo from NCIS. Hey, what's your problem? Okay, and then we have Ducky from NCIS. This cadaver has origins in the Aborigine tribe, Jethro. All right, Donkey from Shrek. What's going on? All right, Jack Benny. Now cut that out. All right. This is a voice I used to do in high school, and it always got a laugh. It's one of those dumb things that it doesn't get a laugh after you're out of high school, but in high school it's hilarious. All right, here's a joke. Here's a voice I used to do. It's Juan Pablo de la Garza. Here we go. My name is Juan Pablo de la Garza. I have 29 kids, and every one of them has the flu. All right, here's one that's going to take the rest of my water, probably here. All right. I don't know if y'all remember June Carter Cash, but yes, the wife of Johnny Cash. She would have a voice, and it was like it was, and you would hear her sing, and it was like the whole time, and you go, why? And everybody would cheer, yes, all right, June, and then she would do something where she acted like it would really get the crowd going, and I don't know if it really ever did, but she would be like, she would get all like raspy. She'd go, she'd start out, and then she would go, and then she would like grind, she would do that, and then you would go, and she would act like, man, this is really going to be a hit. So here we go. But they'll laugh at you in Jackson, and I'll be dancing on the pony king. All right, and then there was the talking horse, Mr. Ed.
Hello, I'm Mr. Ed.
And then, the mic helps, I tell you. Okay, and then there's now our president, Donald Trump. You're fired. All right. And here's Elroy Jetson from the Jetsons TV show.
Hey, Dad, what do you think about my time machine?
Then there's Toucan Sam from Fruit Loops commercials. Follow your nose. Okay. And then years ago, I don't know if y'all are familiar, but years ago, like maybe 10 years ago, there used to be an announcer on CBS, and when the football games would come on, the announcer would go, NFL on CBS. And he's not on anymore, I don't think. And then here's the guy that's still on the Sports Center. He goes, I'm going to need some water for this one right here. You go, this is Sports Center. All right. And then there's George H.W. Bush. Dana Carvey made him popular, made his impersonation popular on Saturday Night Live.
Not gonna do it. I'm thinking about it here. Oh, it's scary. It's scary. Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture.
All right. And then there's Robin Williams. And this is an actual quote from Robin Williams. He had to really search to find a clean one. But anyway, here's a quote from Robin Williams. Spring is nature's way of saying,
Let's party.
all right, and then there's Ted Koppel from Nightline.
Good evening, I'm Ted Koppel, and this is Nightline.
All right, and then here's a voice here that is, I call it the super raspy announcer. It's the voice that you always hear on TV or movies or whatever. And I always wondered, do people like that, do they sound like that in real life? Do they order at McDonald's and they go, I want a small fries? You know, or whatever. Do they do that? Do they go, next Saturday on NBC? You know, do they do that? You know, those voices, they sound like that. All right. Now, I have one more. And you'll have, if you want to see the rest, go on YouTube. All right. Let's see. Sean Connery as James Bond. James Bond. All right. one more drink of water. All right. Hey, thank y'all for having me. This church is fun. All right. Yes. Thanks, y'all. That's right.
He's got 350 of those voices. That's a bunch. There used to be, what was Mel Blanc? What was that his name?
Yeah.
The man of 1,000 voices. He'll be 1,000 voices someday. You know, today, find what I'm looking for. Today, I was at the baptisms, and that was just a wonderful thing to see. And there's a particular part of a baptism when